What more do you want tacked onto this? I turned myself into a pickle and 9/11 was an inside job? Was it?
Hey everybody, it's Pandora from Pandora's Box here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I am bringing you back to Sim Saturdays and back to the Universe family for the introduction to the... I think this is the only Rind household I have now, because Valerie was a Rind, and if you don't know who Valerie is, check out my last episode. Plenty of cringe in that episode, but it was a story that had to be explained. This is October's oldest daughter. We haven't met her youngest daughter yet. We've only met the boys so far. Her youngest daughter is a vampire, and she lives with... Actually, we haven't met Tanner yet either, and he's the oldest of the boys on Carter's side of the family. So anyways, I'm not going to talk too much right here about it. There's not much... I think this is going to be a short episode because this family's kind of like... There's a little bit of drama, but not too much. The house looks kind of funky if you see down here. It's because I built the house, and then I built a garden. I mean, I'll explain more of it when we're in here, obviously, but there's a little, like, futuristic-looking house in the backyard, and that's for one of the kids in the house. The only kid that's not in here... I'll start loading it up right now, actually. The only kid that's not in here is Anakin, because he lives on his own right now. I explained that in episode 2, so if you haven't seen that, backtrack, go check that out. You don't have to watch these in chronological order, it's just a little bit easier, because I'll probably reference that I've already talked about somebody. So, anyways, we're about to get into this, and I will see you guys when we're there. Okay guys, we're here. Right immediately off the bat, it's 10:34 a.m. on a Saturday, so they don't have to go to school or anything today. You see here that Jar Jar is an alien right off the bat. I think he always has the plumb bob above his head. I'm not sure. I don't really watch like the alien Let's Plays that people have, but the thing with this is like Eleanor worked for a while. She's the mom of the house. She worked for a while as a scientist, like the get to work pack career scientist. And I don't know if that like triggers it to easily find like aliens. I'm not exactly sure, because when I had the get to work pack, I think that it took me a while before Eleanor had that job, and there definitely weren't like alien abductions before she had that job. I don't know if anybody else has like noticed that or whatever, or if it's like just some like I'm just might be thinking about it too much, and it's not actually a thing. Because the very few that I have seen, I feel like it follows a pattern. Like Claire Chaubon, sorry again if I butchered her name, but she had one of her Sims work as the scientist, and then she started seeing like all the aliens and stuff. Like they're all over the city, like aliens that were born on Earth, I believe. But this is Jar Jar, and the little futuristic house in the back, I'll show you a little, I'll just show you the outside of it right now. But when he was born, when Bernard got abducted, because it was obviously Bernard that got abducted, he's the dad of the house. It was well after I had the kids, Amidala and Anakin. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll recognize these names. Eleanor is very much like a Star Wars fan. Her party outfit is Darth Vader right now, I believe, but she was Leia at one point until after she had her kids, and then she started like going as Darth Vader. It was more like I needed one of her outfits, and this is before I realized you could have like multiple outfits, not just the core set. Then you could do like a number 2 folder for their outfits. But I just never fixed it with her, so every time she goes to a party, she goes as Darth Vader, but it's really for her to go to GeekCon. And she hasn't gone since she's had the kids, I don't believe. Other than, like, when I don't play her. But, like, I built these rooms for Anakin and Amidala And if you're a Star Wars fan, you're probably screaming at me right now because you're like, that's not her name. Her name is Padme. And I'm like, okay, but I wanted them to both have A names, and I like Amidala's last name better. And I've always like called her Amidala. So get off my back. I'm just kidding. But anyways, you'd probably be saying like, well, why don't you just move Jar Jar into Anakin's old room? Well, because I don't know what's gonna happen with Anakin, first of all, and second of all, like I already built this, and I feel like Jar Jar knows to go in there and like do things and stuff, and I feel like he just likes the quiet time. Like I'm pretty sure I gave him the loner trait. Let me just see here. Could you? Oh no, he's not. But like he loves the outdoors and stuff, and his home is like a small like, it's open. You know what I mean? Like he's got glass windows, big glass windows, but then he's got like these little areas to go, and then like he's always got fresh air cycling through the house because there's spots on the ground where the stairs have to go between the levels. Oh, I should I can't remember if I wanted to put walls here or not because, or I mean you know what this, a gate, like a, oh, whatever it's called. But anyways, the only problem with his little house is that he's had like 3 fires in the house alone just because it's so small, I feel like. Even though we don't have that like that gauge, the fire hazard gauge anymore in build mode, he still seems to have like more trouble keeping the fires out than like in my bigger builds. So anyways, oh my god, why does it keep going to the top? I should have this cut down. Okay, so anyways, this is Jar Jar. Okay, let me just, well, hold on, let me do this. Let me just remove his disguise so you can see. I don't really care about him like changing his disguise out here anymore because he took it upon himself, like, well, he didn't take it upon himself. Yeah, so this is him. So I left him bald. I feel like when they're male aliens, or even female aliens, maybe, I've never had one except for if you watched episode 2 where I talked about Landon and Yusuf ended up having an alien baby. And I didn't know what it would do if I hit the send a homeworld button, and I felt really bad after doing it, but I would have kept her bald. I would have kept Unity bald. Just because I feel like, in my game anyways, the alien species that walks around, you know, 6 a.m. and the Earth and stuff, they're all from the same planet, 6 a.m. And on my 6 a.m., hair doesn't exist, okay? So, like, they don't have hair. The females don't have hair, the males don't have hair. And then he keeps his, like, alien outfit. You know, it's just, like, one of those things that, like, I feel like he wears it underneath his clothes and his human disguise, too. Like, an Earth life support system type thing. But, yeah, that's Jar Jar. I'd much rather him have... Yeah, I'd much rather him be in his disguise, though. He's cute. Look how cute he is. You wouldn't even, if that freaking Plum Bob wasn't there, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know he was an alien. But then there's Amidala, who looks, she's got the skin complexion of Bernard, but she's quite a bit lighter than him, I feel like. Maybe not that much lighter, but like a little bit lighter. And it might be just her hair. But when I edit The Sims, and like, I don't edit them all the way in cast, I just change their outfits pretty much and their hair. I keep their like hair color and stuff. I keep everything except like if their eyebrows don't match, like hers kind of, I think hers are like a different shade blonde. I might be wrong, but I'm not gonna change that on them. Like, I gave her glasses and stuff because I figured that she would. Eleanor's not wearing her glasses right now. I don't even know what. I think that she's in her pajamas for some reason. But Amidala, I figured, should, like, inherit, like, her Eleanor's trait for, you know, not 20/20 vision. I don't want to say she's got, like, terrible eyesight because it's not something I think of. I'm, like, not like, oh, this is what your vision is to a T. But she's got, you know, she wears glasses because she might be nearsighted or farsighted, whichever, like, could be what Eleanor is or not. Who knows? But, you know, I figured that, like, because when she came out of she was one of the cutest kids that I had too, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's freaking adorable. I can't wait to see her as a teenager. And then she came out as a teenager, and I was like, damn, girl, those curves. So I was like, okay, you can have, like, your tummy exposed a little bit. I think that she gained a little bit of weight. I think that's one of the things in this game that I feel like, unless again I'm crazy, they really tried to make it realistic with, like, you know, Jar Jar. I mean, he's an alien, so I don't know if it even counts, but like Anakin, he's so, like, he's like a skinny boy, and I think that it's easier for him to keep weight off because he's got a higher metabolism, whereas I mean, basically Amidala got all the kind of bad traits from Eleanor, the eyesight and the slow metabolism. So I had to have Amidala work out a little bit. But it wasn't until later in life that Eleanor started working out again, and she's just like, she's literally the definition of, like, you know, when somebody says they're big boned, but you're like, are you, or do you just have a weight problem, like, type thing. But Eleanor definitely, like, I've had her work out for so long, and she doesn't eat really that bad from what I remember. I started having her eat a little bit healthier, and still she has this shape to her that won't go away. Not that it's a bad thing. Actually, Eleanor reminds me a lot of myself. But anyways, let's just, I mean, I always sit here and I talk, but, like, again, this is explaining them. I said I wasn't gonna make this long, and I've spent forever talking about them. So I'll just talk about Bernard, because Bernard and I have, like, this like-hate relationship. I only say love-hate because I like him very few times in my plays with this house. And like, he's the target symbol. Look at him. He's a politician, okay? So it's not that I have a thing against politicians. It's just, like, it's Bernard, and he's a politician in the way that he is. If I was to explain it to you, is that he's the, like, what would you call that? The I'll just say, like, the epitome of what are they doing in here? I love it when they're in this house, actually. I'm going to show you guys the house, but, like, I don't want to show you too much, but anyways. Yeah, Bernard is the epitome of a politician, and he's just, like, kind of aloof about things. He's kind of like, I don't really care about anything. And then, like, when they had Jar Jar, when he was pregnant with Jar Jar and everything, I was like, it was the first time that happened to me, but, like, Bernard and Eleanor were, like, just so accepting, and they're like, let's build him this big house, like, to himself and stuff, like, just in case he doesn't want to stay in the house of the family, plus we don't have room. But yeah, heck yeah, I'd take care of an alien. And when it came to, like, the whole thing with Unity, I felt bad because I realized that maybe Yusuf could have convinced them to take Unity as well, since they already had an alien living with them. I don't know why I didn't do that. I didn't, like, think that first and, like, check to make sure that if I had sent her to Homeworld that I would be able to see her again. But, I mean, I should fix this roof up here and stuff. Like, what is this even? This is, like, one of my very first house builds, so this is, like, small desert home type thing. But anyways, so yeah, they like accepted him right away. They were like, oh, he's an alien, we should name him Jar Jar. People who are Star Wars fans would probably be like, Jar Jar's like the stupidest character, and I'm like, he's so freaking adorable. I love Jar Jar. My Jar Jar is a very intelligent being, though. He's very intelligent, but I'm just, like, circling the house. I don't know why. I think, oh, there he is. I was trying to look for him. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what he's learning right now. What are you watching? You're not watching anything now. Oh, he was learning something. I don't know what it was. I was gonna say, sometimes, yeah, I don't, should put the walls down, but I wanted to show you, like, I have this clock that Eleanor got from work, but I don't decorate too much, or at least I didn't before. I want to start doing it a little bit more. I just like the layout of the house, but, like, this corner for the longest time, except for, like, a jukebox here, which is not here anymore, which I need to put something there, I feel like. But it's like an area that I had no idea what to do. I need, like, with. And maybe what I should have done was, like, make a coat closet. But the thing is, oh, I could have. Like, right there, I feel like I could have put a wall. You know what I mean? Put a wall right here with it just open. You don't even need to, like, have a door. Or maybe, because it seems like one of those, it's, like, not modern, but it's just, like, a classic build where, you know, you would have a coat closet in the living room with a regular, like, door on it. And then just have, because I do know now, I didn't know when I wow. When I built this, that there was a clothing rack I could have put. I might fix that. I have this like bathroom. I don't know why oh yeah, that's right, I have the lights adjusted. But this is the bathroom. It's just like everything in this house is very like, you might think of, I mean, some of you might be like, oh yeah, that looks like a family home. Like, that kind of looks like my home. This is annoying because half the time, well, I think, oh no, I'm on Amidala. Okay. I was going to say, I think it was the rocket ship that was doing it, but the wall comes down. But yeah, like, this is the kitchen area. They have, like, an actual table and then, like, 2 bar stools. I love putting, like, counter space or an island where there's bar stools. It doesn't even matter how much space I have. You know, just basic. Like, there's not much to show you here. That's what I'm saying. Like, I won't be here long, I feel like, showing you this. The nerd room, Eleanor's work area and stuff. She's the, pro gamer. She's a pro gamer right now. Like, this originally wasn't in here. I had this as, like, a homework area because this was right here. When Amidala needed to do her aspirations for her kid thing, and one of the things was do homework 3 times while focused, and I couldn't get her focused for whatever reason, so I decided to put the table right here next to this, and it worked. And then Jar Jar had the same problem because he was the same as her. They're both like nerdy kids, whereas Anakin was more social, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he didn't run away from home. He told everybody he was leaving, and he just said he couldn't stand being here. Like, it wasn't in a way either where he was like, Mom, I can't deal with you, I need independence. He never, like, talked to her like that. It was more of, like, a thing. Like, this family, again, a lot of my families are laid back. Oh, there's Eleanor. But Eleanor was like, you know, if you need to move out, then that's fine. But you have to realize that if you do that, you have the responsibilities of paying your own bills and stuff. She's strict in a way that's like, I'm not about to help you pay your bills and stuff, but if it ever comes down to you needing to move back in your room, it's always here. Type thing. Like, she wants her kids to be independent, but at the same time, she wants to set boundaries in a way. She needs to repair that. She wants to set boundaries in a way that, the kids know if they're still, you know, still have to be logical about situations. So she's got, like, she completed, I can't even remember, let me look at her Simology. Look at how many things she has. Okay, so these are the, alright, Eleanor, you're being loud. I'm gonna move over here for a second. She has the geek aspiration, family-oriented, and loves outdoors. These are the traits that, you know, your Sims would start out with up to adulthood. And then she's got never weary, because she earned so many points. She's got webmaster from completing the computer whiz aspiration. She's professorial from completing the Renaissance Sim aspiration. She's carefree from the reward store, steel bladder from the reward store, and quick learner from choosing a knowledge aspiration. She's been going through the knowledge aspirations. And this one's fairly easy. I just haven't gone to do things with her for completing this. Because she's already done so much. She's like, I don't even know. I'm just gonna throw this away. I don't even know, like, she's definitely one of my highest learned Sims, I guess. Like, she just has a good skill base for a lot of things. She's definitely more like the man of the house than Bernard is. And I might be saying that, I might be saying, Oh no, I'm gonna stop thinking about babies. Anyways, I might be thinking that Eleanor is like that because I just don't like Bernard that much. But it's kind of true. Like, Eleanor always, worked on her stuff and fix things around the house, and she would cook dinner. But Bernard and her would take turns. But Bernard basically took care of the kids. I always had him take care of the kids, so he started doing it on his own. So he was more like the stay at home, because a lot of times I would have him stay at home and not go to his job. Um, Taking a day to work at home, basically. When you're a politician, you can get away with that, and he always spent his days pretty much. There's a couple times I took him out, but I don't aspire to have him get a raise because I just don't care. As bad as that sounds, I don't. But he's also made enemies with Lucas. That was one of the first things I did with Lucas, and I was like, alright, I know the perfect sim for you to hate. I just really don't care for Bernard. But it's really weird to say, oh, you hate this sim that, Alright, so I didn't show you. Their room doesn't really have anything in it, but... And then their upstairs bathroom. But anyways, Bernard is just one of those characters where, yeah, I pulled him out of the world and stuff, but it was at that point in time where, like, Eleanor's at work right now, but they're both at work. It was that point in time where Eleanor, her clock was ticking for sure. Like, it was literally, I was focusing on both her and her sister because they lived in the same house at the same time, and her sister had a boyfriend. Her sister ended up moving out. And I focused on other stories, and I always went back to Eleanor, but I didn't, pay attention to her time that much, and I was like, okay, compared to my other Sims, you need to start having kids and, now. So, she's more, she had kids at a decent age because her kids are teenagers now, and she's about to be an elder in 27 days, but I still felt like she was a little bit late to the party. She was more, attempting some. Getting famous. Oh, I've done this one before. Getting famous is fun, but it can have its downsides, like when a competitor offers Eleanor a bribe to throw the next game. It's hard not to feel a little honored, and the bribe is substantial. I've never taken it. Refuse it. She's got, respected gamer. Staying ethical in any game is a winning move. I feel like I hadn't seen that moodlet before, though, when we did that. I want her to repair this when she gets home. But yeah, so, this is, you're gonna forgive me because I forgot what we were talking about before, and now I'm just gonna show you, Anakin's house, but that's fine. He's got a little bathroom area. I haven't really done too much with it, but this is his birth certificate, so, I don't know. He should look at his birth certificate, I feel like. I've brought him to 6 a.m. a couple times. He's very curious about, his home and stuff, but I also, my thought process is, he knows, he understands. There's a point in time where, as he grows up, he just has this understanding of why he was born he's all alien, even though Bernard, is his dad, but he understands why he's supposed to be here, type thing. I did a little patio thing for him. But he goes to 6 a.m. every once in a while to collect, samples and stuff and bring them back to Earth. So he's more, working for Earth and their research team. He's here to help Earth, and it's another thing that I kind of implemented into my stories was that 6 a.m. is a friendly planet, and they kind of have, if there was a galactic war type situation, they would definitely have an alliance with the Earth, but in order to do so, they need to take samples to, Earth, and instead of always bringing, they're in the middle right now of recruiting these men unwillingly to go and have alien children to have on Earth to come to 6 a.m. when they're old enough to grab samples and bring back, and vice versa, so that each other can learn like the planets. And it's a more cost I feel like it's a more cost effective way for everybody, is what the thought process is. As if like are the governments of the world, the like the UN and all other like, you know, governments talk to the governments on 6 a.m. and they came to an agreement, and now they're part of the whatever, what it would be, the UG, the United Galaxies, I don't know. But anyways, so that was my thought process on it. Like, if I had to implement him in the story in any way, and I love Jar Jar, I really do, but and he's got the curator aspiration, because that's exactly what he does. But I do love him. I don't really care for Bernard, but I am glad that he gave me Jar Jar. And that's pretty much all you're good for, buddy. You drive me nuts. He's irritated about something. I think he heard me. He needs a vacation day. Nah, you're fine. He's like a foodie, I believe. He's a foodie, unflirty, and a goofball. And alluring. I'm choosing a love aspiration. Now, I'm not gonna... with some of my couples, I, like, cheated age for a while. Like, Yusuf, when Landon first got with Yusuf, he was almost an elder. I had him drink a youth potion, like, 3 times to catch up with Landon, to make sure he didn't hit the old age thing. With Bernard, I'm not gonna do that. I feel like he should grow... Like, Eleanor is dating somebody who's in the political field, so it's like... I feel like that's something that you kind of... Like, right now, he's only, project organizer or something like that. But I feel like he should have been older when Eleanor met him. And it should just stay that way. Also, we already know how I feel about him, so it's like... I just really don't care. Like, Eleanor's very carefree anyways, and she even has that trait, so... I just don't care for him to get older or whatever. It's one of those Sims that you know, there's Sims that you get super attached to, and then there's Sims that you don't. Even ones you pull out of the world and stuff, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna be, like, when Cadence dies, I'm gonna be heartbroken. I think she's gonna die after, Xander, though, and I feel like that's one of those things where it's like, oh my god, you were the last piece of Xander's, like... I mean, he's got his sons and everything, and that'll definitely carry on, but him and Cadence are of the same generation, and so, like, even if there's other Sims in the 3rd generation that are living, I'm still gonna feel like, oh my god, like, his generation is dead, like, once Cadence is dead. Just because Xander... Because I won't do that with Xander either. They're not too far apart, I believe. I think that Cadence will have something like 12 or so days left when Xander dies, which in here seems very long, but I also do want to play with Cadence and up to, like, I don't want to mess with her age, I really don't. But, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll play a little bit of, we can actually take Jar Jar to 6 a.m. I don't know if anybody... If, like, any YouTubers you watch have ever gone. I'm sure that they have, because, look at... She makes, like, $1,500 a day compared to what Bernard makes $123 an hour, so that's not terrible, but she makes... Moving this is, like... Sometimes I do wish I had Sims for the computer for CC and easier controls, but she makes $261 an hour. She has one more promotion she could have, but I haven't worked on this family for a while. The garden back here is empty because also on the PlayStation or on console, the way you sell, like when she was growing more stuff, the way you sell things, I have to do them one by one because apparently, like, the stacks get bugged out, so it doesn't allow me to sell the whole stack. So it gets weird and glitchy. So I ended up, like, I'll probably grow stuff again, let the plants mature, and then, like, make them better quality and sell them. That's how I was doing it. Like, I ended up selling all the plants, and I made a substantial amount from doing that, so why not? But, all the computers are broken. I know I'm talking a lot in this one. My throat actually hurts. I don't need to. Probably talking really fast, too. But I always forget that I can just edit around, like, what I'm saying and take breaks, but I actually, didn't really know what to say about this family because there's not much to go on other than I forgot to mention, this is kind of weird, but there in the episode where I talked about Landon and Yusuf, there was a situation that happened when I was talking about their relationship where Yusuf was flirting with Eleanor. Well, what happened was he was flirting with Eleanor, and Eleanor was fine, and Bernard was fine with the whole thing. And then, like, there was another situation where Eleanor was flirting in front of Bernard in the gym or whatever, and he just didn't care, and I think it's because he's an unflirty sim. But I thought of this, like, scenario in my head where they're kind of like, they're like swingers. So you know how, like, in every single series, there's at least some kind of drama in my families? Well, their whole thing is, like, they are swingers. They hang out with, like, other people's other couples, and then they, like, swap partners and stuff, like, type thing. But, they're also not limited to finding somebody and not even asking if they're single or anything. Type thing. They're just weird. They have been weird since, I mean, Eleanor always gave me weird vibes. When she was a kid, like, she wasn't so, weird, but she, when she became a teenager and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, she's me. Like, super geeky and everything. And then she became an adult and she was like, I don't know, it's not, I mean, I'm weird, but I'm not like that, you know what I mean? So, I mean, no judgment to her. I mean, do what you want, but I thought it was a really funny, like, of course it would be this family type situation. And it was funny to me, and I was like, alright, if that's what you're into, I guess. But she should cook something. I'll bring Jar Jar to 6 a.m. and then I'll probably end this because we'll eventually get into playing these again. Like I said, we're going to play all the families and we're going to actually play them. These are just introductions, but I like to do, like, one thing every time I do this. So we should at least do, the whole thing is me trying to, like, talk to you and explain these families, but it's also a learning experience for me. Like, The Sims is one of those games where you gotta constantly be on your Sims' backs to do things that you want to do in order to do things, and when I'm talking and trying to do things at the same time, it becomes, no, I don't want to do that. It becomes, like, see what I mean? Like, I know what I want to do, but it takes me a minute. And I'm slow sometimes when I just play and not talk either, but look at his little nighttime pajama shirt's got a UFO on it. But yeah, I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying not to make things so lengthy. So funny. I had Eleanor crash the rocket ship like twice, and both times I was so scared because, you know, I don't want any of my Sims to die. I mean, other than Bernard, which I don't care either way, but I don't want them to die. I'm so attached to them. Like, when, oh yeah, when Eleanor gets to the point where she's gonna die, I'm not gonna be that upset. But because my pinnacle for being upset would be Xander, obviously. But I'd still, you know, be upset about it just a little bit. You know, it would be like, oh, I put in all that work. She's like an incredible sim, but I know that I'm going to shed a tear for Xander. I probably won't be that way for many of my other sims. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Alright, guys, here we are on 6 a.m. I'm going to have him, he's hungry, but I'm going to have him change into his regular form, because when he's on the planet, I feel like he should feel more at home. And he's just gonna do his thing and collect samples, like a few samples, and then I'm gonna try to find an alien for him to talk to. I think, yeah. some of these things. He pretty much has like the whole geode collection. It just, there's like these things that he sells, and I feel like he sells them to like museums and like scientists and stuff. Oh, he found an alien. Alright, that should be good. I wanna find an alien to talk to. This like place seems so big, but it's just the fact that it's like a twist and turn type place. Like if I extend right here, this is pretty much the map. That's it. That's all the area that he can go. When you're down on the map though, he gets lost very easily. But I don't see any aliens here. What time is it? 2:23? I don't know if they go by our... Oh, wait. Here's one. Arthur Patton. Talk to him. Friendly introduction. I don't know how many of these aliens he's met or not. It seems, though, that either the aliens come to visit Earth or when he visited or Eleanor visited, they decided to move to Earth. And that's why, like, because I can't avoid it. I can't avoid the aliens being on the Earth, so I might as well play it in my, like, storyline as if, like, no matter what storyline I do, because it's all in the same world, basically, right? So you play it as the aliens from 6 a.m. and their world being in an alliance, so it doesn't seem so odd that there's aliens and that everybody's just normal with it. I mean, in the Sims world, there's vampires, so there's aliens. You might as well play it. If you can't avoid it, you might as well play it in some type of scenario. I feel like Jar Jar doesn't want to get any closer to him, like he doesn't trust him. I like the secret handshake, though. And I love how they speak in Simlish, too. Discuss the weird atmospheric pressure. Known alien. It was like he was complimenting him, but he was talking about the weird atmosphere, right? I like doing the alien things. Empathize with them. Teenagers and looking at their phones even in space where there's no cell service. I don't know, maybe on 6 a.m. there's cell service. So doing that to an alien ups their relationship, but oftentimes when you do it to a human, it, when you, like, try to empathize with a human, they more than likely are not gonna like it. So what is he doing? He's on his phone, so there's gotta be cell service here. I wonder if Jar Jar's got... Oh, what is that one? I wonder if Jar Jar has, like, a... Oh, it's already been collected? I'll have him collect this stuff back here. 2 phones, you know what I mean? Like, one for when he's on 6 a.m. and one when he's home. That's a weird thing to think about, but... I suppose anything is possible. Oh, this guy's gonna take this stuff over here, I believe. That's what they do. They just harvest stuff and text on their phones up here. Wild orb stock. Where did he go? Oh, he disappeared. Okay, he walked to wherever. The illusion is broken. He dug up a capsule. He's got 2 geodes, dead red coral. These he got on Earth, which he should sell here for samples. I play weird. I have a very overactive imagination, so, like, let's just pretend he just took that to, Simonite? Hematite. And a glow orb. I could plant that, actually. I would just pretend that he took it to trade. What would you call that? Who is this girl? Hold on. Back up. I feel like I've met everyone that's here, but... Patrice, yeah, I've met her before. He should have met her, though. Like, I'm pretty sure I met her with him. And this is... Abdullah. I think he's new. But I'm not gonna worry about talking too much to him. I think he's done collecting. I think we should go back to Earth. So when I click on... Where'd he go? We were going home. Where'd you go? When I click on the list to, like, return home, or I click to return home, and it gives you a list, like, you can take any of the aliens back. I don't know if that, like, does anything other than, like, just take them back. So, like, say you played out a story where you had an alien sim, or even, like, a human sim who, wanted to marry one of the aliens on 6 a.m., or, I don't know, the alien didn't want to be on 6 a.m. anymore, and that was just it, or, because I haven't tried it out, I don't know if there's, like, some weird thing that happens. Probably not. It's probably just for story's sake, but it's interesting that you could just be like, hey, you want to come home with me? It's a nice touch, because if the only way you can visit a, you know, like an alien is to go to 6 a.m. and then keep going back there, if you wanted a particular character, like, at your disposal at all times, you could make sure that that was a thing. And for, like, storytellers, like, they could play it out where their sim goes to 6 a.m. and brings the alien back. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have done that, but like I said, I don't watch the alien ones as much. Actually, pretty much never, unless somebody's story accidentally involved aliens. Alright, so... First of all, he should... I love how it puts him right in the front of the house again. Like... Wouldn't you return on the rocket ship? Eleanor, you didn't finish this while I was gone? Why are you guys so completely helpless? Finish cooking this. Resume stir fry. It's a little bit gross to be sitting there and, like, you let that food sit there and you're like, oh yeah, I was gonna cook stir fry yesterday. And then you just go and cook it. He's not even gonna wait for that stir fry. Oh, he's gonna cook. I forgot that he knows how to cook. Not well, but he knows how to. He always at level 5. That's okay. Okay, so he's gonna cook in his kitchen, but, like, that always makes me nervous. First time he had a fire was when he was a kid and he needed to level up his, experimental skill or whatever on the kids', like, experimental table, and it was up here. And he set the house on fire, and the fire, like, started outside of the house, or up here, maybe. And it started outside of the house, and then, like, Anakin ended up putting it out for him by... I'm watching him so closely, but he put it out for him by jumping into the shower, like going to the whole emote where he undressed to take a shower, then he had the fire extinguisher and put it out through the wall. I don't know, it was weird. But then I ended up putting the table, the, like, experiment table out here. I was like, you need to stay as far away from the house as possible. He's a smart kid, but he's, like, ignorant to, like, life on Earth still, so... It's a little hard for that being. See, like, they love each other. And I'm not gonna, like, bag on Eleanor for wanting to love her husband. I just, like... I don't know, Bernard. You drive me nuts. You irritate me. And then I say something like that and you walk away. Oh, good job, Eleanor. Gaining a few followers while updating your social media. You do that by yourself pretty much. I don't worry about it too much anymore. Yeah. He drives me nuts. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this family. I mean, I could bring you over to Anakin, but I already explained him to you. We'll play him eventually. I'm gonna get through, I think the last one I need to do is Tanner, and that will be, when will that be? Next Saturday, right? Yeah, it'll be next Saturday. Well, I'm also thinking, like, is that the last one? But I'm pretty sure. Because it would only be the 6 kids, because everybody's, like, their kids are still kids. Or teenagers. A lot happened, though, with Tanner that, like, in between me starting doing these and, like, I went to live stream on Twitch with, like, a sim that ended up being with Tanner and stuff, and it created some, not really drama, but it's drama for me because I'm like, oh my god, why did I do that? But that's cute. They're like, he's eating and she's doing homework, but anyways, guys, if you appreciated this, give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see all you guys the next Saturday.